Hey, it's your girl Just Bree coming at you with another video. Feel free to hit the like, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to my channel. So, a topic that I wanted to talk about that I really wanted a video to piggyback off of um, is about the notion that no good men are left, right? You hear women say that all the time. Ain't no good men, they all locked up. I mean, and this has been a trope for 40 years now. Ain't no good men, they in jail, in prison. Same difference. Or they married or they gay. Right? No good men left. And so I was just thinking about this topic in a way and how I wanted to discuss it, you know. So then this popped up in my feed. And shout out to Melanie King. Make sure y'all go over to her channel, like, share, subscribe, and tell her I sent you. Okay. So I just want to take this little piece out of her video, um, and kind of use it for my own commentary. So I made sure I fast forwarded it to the actual part that I want to use. And then I'll just, you know, we'll have a conversation after we hear this little piece.
Let me start off by saying that you attract what you are. So if you're walking around lonely, desperate, mad at the world, bitter, mean, etc., men can sense this. The wrong ones prey on you and the right ones run away because they know their worth and they don't want to deal with all of that. They refuse to deal with that because they're not obligated to. If you're not meeting good men, it's because you're not at a point in your life where you're ready to accept one. This could mean that you still have past trauma and baggage that you haven't healed through. This could mean that you haven't healed through the last man that broke your heart. This could mean that you haven't healed through your daddy issues. This could mean that you haven't healed through your mama issues. And sometimes it simply means that you're still too immature to accept one into your life. See, a lot of you all go through life fooling yourself, thinking that you could just speak whatever you want into existence, you can manifest whatever it is that you want. And to a certain extent that is true, but the other thing is, and the truth is that every single thing is on divine time. So if it's not your time to receive it, you won't.
So I'm just gonna stop it right there. Because I have a scenario actually that I really wanted to share. And basically, so what happened was I have this coworker, and sometimes people just, I mean, they have diarrhea in their mouth when it comes to their business, child. So she just started, sharing her little life story and everything. And I'm just sitting there listening. And she goes on to talk about her ex-husband and how, he was not a nice man. He's disrespectful, calls her out her name, so on and so forth. So my question was to her, and I asked her this. I said, well, how are your parents together? Because their parents are still together. They're elderly, and they're still together. And I'm like, well, what did you see growing up that made you feel like this was okay? And not saying that she was perfect or anything like that, because Lord only knows what she did in the marriage, right? Because she is divorced. So, and not to mention she brought 3 kids into the, well, technically 2 kids, because her oldest was out of the house by then. So technically, you could say 2 kids into the marriage, 2 baby daddies. Anyway, she goes, well, my parents never argue. They were the quote unquote perfect Catholic couple. Never really argued. Definitely didn't. Her father didn't disrespect her mom or anything like that. And so I was just intrigued to know why, if this man was such a horrible person to her, what attracted her to him. And of course, when we have conversations about men and relationships, she always comes from a negative, perspective. And we also have a young lady in the office too that's in her early 20s. Like I'm in my 40s. The this person, this coworker is in her mid 50s, and then we've got the 20 something year old. So, I don't know, we were having a conversation, and of course, she was just like the oldest of the three of us, the coworker. She just went on and on about how basically the same trope. Ain't no good men, men bad, no good men, and all that, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, because the young lady, the 24-year-old, she's single. I'm single. But I'm self aware enough to know that, okay, like I told the 24-year-old, it's not the men, it's who you choose. You have to choose. Um, you have to know how to choose a man. So of course the 55-year-old agreed and everything. And but when I asked her, going back to what I asked her about why she felt it was okay, being that she wasn't raised like that, she said that she I don't know, I guess felt sorry for him. Um and prior to that, like, she has a history, right? So she marries this man, but prior to that, one of her kids' father died of an overdose. He was a drug addict. She didn't have too much good to say about him. And then the eldest child's father, um, I don't even really know if she said anything about him. But just overall in general, she has such a negative attitude about men in general. And I was just like, yo, you can't. I said, you have to be accountable for your choices. I said, why? I said, you can't just go around making those blanket statements when these are the men that you chose, you know? And a lot of women, and I'm sure she assumed that I was just going to go along with what she was saying. And I think because I challenged her, she didn't come across as upset or anything, but I damn sure don't think she was expecting it, because the minute she said it, I was like, bitch, wait a minute now, you know, because she talked about the ex-husband calling her hoes and bitches and all this shit to her face and all this shit. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, okay, well, um, I don't know what it is about your self-esteem, miss, that made you feel like, you had to tolerate that. I said, but I mean, who's to blame? For real. For real, for real, who's to blame? I mean, he could be the top asshole in the world. And I'm not doubting what she's saying about him is true, even though I don't know him. And I'm just taking her for her word. Not, because obviously I don't know him. But just let's say it's true. Okay. I still don't understand what made you think that that was okay, that you would marry a man that treated you like that. And I said, well, what did I said? She tried to make it out to be like, how most women act like it just comes out of nowhere all of a sudden. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me you didn't have no signs that he was like this before you married him? Then she had to backtrack and say, well, yeah, I guess so. I guess there was some things that, I overlooked or whatever. I said, yeah, I know. I know. That's exactly what you did. And now she's pissed off because her children who are not biologically his, he don't have nothing to do with those kids, even though he was a part of their life for, you know, um, a portion of their childhood, maybe from, I don't know, 8 to 10 years old on up. And now he don't have nothing to do with them. And see, that's the thing. That's one of the things that you don't hear about when, people talk about becoming blended families and things like that. Um, you know, it's like he don't want nothing to do with them kids now. He put on that front because for whatever reason he wanted to deal with her, and he tolerated the children. A lot of these men don't want to be bothered with your kids, but y'all just insist. We a package, this, that, and the other. Yeah, yeah. But then as they get grown, a lot of them, they just go their separate ways. Um, and they still consider him to be a jerk, and they feel like he's being a jerk because he doesn't want to financially support them in any kind of way now that they're grown. But and I mean, I don't know if I can blame him. And from the way it sounded like he treated her, shit, I would feel a way towards my mother for even dealing with a man like that. And I said, well, so then I asked her, I said, and like I said, she's had several relationships where she was always being, you know, um, mistreated according to her. And I'm just like, what is your issue? Because you seem to attract these type of men. I said, what is the problem? And she goes, I don't know. I just feel bad for him and I want to fix him. And I said, oh my God. I said, oh, okay. I said, yeah. I said, see, that's it. That's your problem. I said, so then I said, well, was there ever a guy that, I don't know what this movie is. I said, was there ever a guy that um came into your life that really cared about you, that would have done anything for you? So then she goes on to tell the story about some guy that ended up cheated on her, that was a married man, that she still decided to date even after she found out he was married. She hadn't known him that long or that well, and she continued dating him in spite of being married. I said, no. I said, where was the man? I said, what guy that you dated that you let, like, you know how you say the one that got away? I had to like dig that out of her. I'm like, no, I'm talking about the guy that would have bent over backwards for you, did anything for you, that loved your dirty draws, child, loved you more than you loved him, and you let him get away. So she goes, oh, she said, well, there was a guy that, really felt that way about her, really loved her, treated her well. But guess what? Guess what the issue was, child? She said he had a small penis. I said, ooh, child, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. I said, so you chose a man that treated you like shit over a man with a little penis that you could somehow, some way try just work that shit out. And I mean, shit, listen, I would have probably did the same thing back in the day, but I'm aware of that now, and I take responsibility for that. you know. And instead of saying that to the young lady, she still continues to harp on the fact, or harp on the bandwagon of ain't no good men. Men are all dogs. All they want is sex. All that kind of bull junk. As opposed to saying, you know what, I let a good one get away. Damn it, I fucked up. I let a good one get away. So you know, because I chose sex, good sex, over somebody that was gonna treat me well, and that's just the truth. Okay, that's just the truth. And now she's dependent upon this ex-husband of hers for her to go and live with, because she can't afford to live on her own now that they're divorced. She had to double back and talk him into, or ask him to let her stay with him. She pays him rent. So, it's a landlord tenant situation. They just so happen to be ex spouses. And hell, and the last I heard, she said he still calls her names and talk shit. But I'm like, hey, that's what you wanted. That's what that's what you sacrificed in the name of a small penis. Hell. So anyway, that's just my little story time. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.